Hey everyone, welcome into my official college football full playoff predictions. I am sorry this is coming out a little bit later than expected. Been dealing with some things, been getting a little bit more difficult as of late in life, but working through it all. Let's get straight into the video, guys. I don't want to waste your time here. The college football playoff, anticipated 12-team playoff, getting ready to start Friday night. Can't wait. I'm going to go through the entire bracket, tell you who I think wins it all. It's tough. It's kind of difficult, I'm not going to lie. Start with the first round here. 5 Texas versus 12 Clemson. Last time I checked, Texas is a 12-point favorite. Before I go any further, though, if you want to have the further in-depth explanations of my round 1 picks and why I picked those teams, you can go check out that video from last week. I'm going to go through these first round matchups a little bit quicker. I have Texas winning. I think Texas is the better team. Clemson, kind of lucky to be here, but they did fight their way to get to this point. Now they got to go on the road to Austin. I don't think it's going to be I don't know. Clemson's going to have a tough time. Texas's defense, they played very well in the SEC championship, but is this a consistently good defense? We're going to find out through this playoff, especially. I don't know, man. Texas has had kind of an iffy schedule. I'm not sure about them. Quinn Ewers may not be 100% either. They'll face the winner of this game faces Arizona State in the Peach Bowl. Next up, we have a very compelling game here. A lot of people are calling this the best first-round matchup. We'll see about that. 8 Ohio State, 9 Tennessee. Saturday night, 8 p.m. Last time I checked, Ohio State is currently a 7.5-point favorite, and I only see this game going two ways. Ohio State either wins in a close one or they win by blowout. And I don't have a good feeling about this game for Tennessee. I like Ohio State to win. I just think Tennessee, they're too one-dimensional on offense sometimes. That defensive front, though, is going to give Ohio State a lot of problems. If Tennessee wins this game, it's because of their defense and the run game. I don't know about the secondary. Ohio State has the receivers to burn them deep. Potentially, but Ohio State needs to get the run game going more. Cold weather, I don't know if the cold's going to bother Tennessee. Tennessee's been in tough environments this year, but this is going to be a drastic change from the warm weather down southeast. But again, I don't think Tennessee should be two-faced. It's playoff weather. It's time to turn manly. I don't know. That should be hopefully the good one. I'm rooting for Tennessee. I don't want Ohio State winning at all. We'll see here. 6 Penn State versus 11 SMU. And by the way, the winner of Ohio State Tennessee takes on Oregon in the Rose Bowl. But up to Happy Valley, first game on Saturday. This could be close, man. I don't know, man. SMU scares me as Penn State's opponent because SMU's got a potent offense. Penn State's had trouble against potent offenses this year. Remember the game against USC? They barely escaped that one. USC was en route to upset them. We've seen Oregon crash down on Penn State's defense. Ohio State came back and beat Penn State. I'm going Penn State, but it would not completely shock me if SMU pulled off the upset. Penn State's a 8.5-point favorite. That might be too many points. Then again, though, if Penn State holds SMU down and keeps their offense off the field, we're probably talking like a 27-13 type of game, maybe, or something along those lines, more of a grudge-style match. The winner of this game plays Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl. Finally, we will talk about the first game that starts. It's on Friday night, 7 Notre Dame, 10 IU. Very compelling matchup here. Something that a lot of people are looking forward to, including myself. Notre Dame's favored 7 points. Both teams have had a fairly weak schedule, especially IU. Notre Dame has faced a couple of teams that have tested them or have outright beat them. One of them, of course, obviously was Northern Illinois. That was a shocker, obviously. Notre Dame tends to choke on the bigger stage, and I do not trust them. But can we trust IU, though? Their only test of the year, they got spanked by Ohio State. That wasn't good. I will say IU held their own for a while, but if IU does not protect the quarterback, they're done early in this game. But I think Notre Dame can be beatable, and I think IU pulls off this upset. I think these guys are going to be ready to play. Notre Dame does not really scare me that much. I will say their defense does worry me, but that offense doesn't really scare me. I mean, if you can slow down Notre Dame's rushing attack a little bit, I think you could put Notre Dame in a corner. So the winner of that game plays Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. Let's move on back up to the top of the bracket. The quarterfinals, Peach Bowl, which would be played on New Year's Day at 1 p.m. 4 Arizona State, 5 Texas. This game would be played. Peach Bowl. Where the heck is this game played at? Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. Texas, I think, wins via blowout. I don't think this is close. Now, Arizona State has the run game. Cam Scatterbo, who's been great this year. He's been one of the best. I just don't like the fact that Arizona State's going to be shorthanded at the receiving core. Jordan Tyson, I think, is done for the season. I don't know. If memory serves me correct, he was in an arm sling. They showed him on the sideline in an arm sling. Texas is more physical. I do think Texas will get to the semifinal, but once they get to the semifinal, that's where I'm going to be like, I don't know. Well, we'll talk more about that in a second. Rose Bowl, 1 Oregon, 8 Ohio State. This is a rematch. This will be a rematch from October 12th. What was one of the best games of the season in Eugene, Oregon. Oregon pulled off a 1-point victory. Ohio State was actually moving the ball well towards the end until Will Howard made that really stupid mistake near the end, and they lost track of time, quote unquote. This game's in Southern Cal, but I don't really care. I think Ohio State wins this game outright. I really think what's going to happen is, and I know, I say this every time, and Ohio State turns around and does the exact opposite. Ohio State, I think, has one of the most talented teams in the country. I do think they have some flaws. Their offensive line worries me. Will Howard maybe is a little suspect. I don't know what's going on with the run game at times. I don't feel like it's been as maybe prominent, maybe. I don't know. I think Ohio State should really unleash it in the playoffs. But again, though, you got to have a healthy offensive line to kind of be able to trust the run game more. But still, Ohio State's defense, the pass rush is a real threat, but the secondary, I don't know, the secondary might be questionable. Oregon's defense is very questionable. I don't trust it. I think if Dillon Gabriel, what I'm afraid is going to happen is Oregon gets off to a slow start and then they're finished. Dillon Gabriel turns it over, they're done. I mean, he's capable of doing it. I think that rear head ugly rear head. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. I think it's just gonna rear its ugly head with Dillon Gabriel's turnovers. An issue he's had since Oklahoma. Or at Oklahoma. Next up, the Fiesta Bowl, 3 Boise State, 6 Penn State. This would be in Arizona. Boise State crowd would be represented well here, but I think Penn State fans will travel for this one. And this game is on New Year's Eve night. I think this game is closer than people think for a while, honestly, because Penn State, yes, they have a physical defensive front especially. They're one of the more physical teams in the country. However, Boise State has pushed teams to the brink this year, like Oregon. I think a lot of people are forgetting that for some reason. I just feel like some people are forgetting that because they're just all like, oh, Penn State's going to kill them. Boise State almost beat Oregon at Oregon. That takes a lot of guts because Oregon's offense is by far a blowtorch when it comes to moving down the field. That's physical enough right there. But I still think Penn State pulls it off. I think they would be the favorite by quite a bit, actually, in this game. I just think Boise State, they're going to show pride in this game. Gene T, I don't think he's going to be completely stopped. I think he'll have his fair share here and there. Boise State's pass rush will have to be the difference if they want to slow Penn State down. The Penn State rushing attack, I think, really comes alive in this game, especially. All-State Sugar Bowl, Georgia, IU, and I'm just going to advance Georgia. I'm sorry, but this is a mismatch, bad mismatch for IU. As much as Indiana, I know everyone's going to be like, well, you just picked them over Notre Dame. Notre Dame and Georgia have had 2 drastic seasons in terms of strength of schedule. Georgia's played much tougher opponents. They've even gotten keeled over against teams like Ole Miss. On the road, that was a desperation spot for Ole Miss, though. But Georgia has played the likes of these teams in the SEC, and as much as I'm not an SEC guy personally like that all the way, I do recognize the reality that Georgia is still one of the more physically tough oppositions in the country, and IU is going to have to crowd all behind them at Notre Dame. It's kind of like that miracle thing that happens one day and then the following week they just completely come out flat. And I think that's what happens in this scenario. That's what I'm banking on. I'll talk about what I think would happen if so and so wins. We'll do that probably after this, but I think Georgia absolutely runs over IU. It's not close. Carson Beck, I don't care if he plays or not. I think Gunnar Stockton will fill his role well. Carson Beck could miss the whole entire postseason. We'll see. But Georgia's defense, when they're on. They're a real deal. They're the real deal. Okay, 8 Ohio State, 5 Texas. This is the toughest one for me to pick. And I think the winner of this game has a fairly good chance of actually winning it all. In the Cotton Bowl, Friday, January 10th. This is where we find out who's really legitimate, obviously. I don't quite trust Sarkisian. I also don't trust Ryan Day. You know, who really at the skill positions, who comes out on top? If Texas can just, try to work in a little bit of Arch Manning and just get Texas's offense even more evolved, Texas defense just holds on, they will win the game. But but we have to wait to see it to happen if they're going to do it. Ohio State, on the other hand, are they going to like Texas's physicality? Because when push comes to shove, Ohio State has actually been dropping these games. Matter of fact, remember, they almost lost to Nebraska. This is pretty difficult. Quinn Ewers used to be at Ohio State. It's tough. Texas has speed. Ohio State's got speed. There's agility on both sides of the ball. I don't know, man. We'll come back to this one. 2 Georgia, 6 Penn State, the Orange Bowl. I'm more confident on this one. Georgia, Penn State, this would be a lower scoring game. Penn State's secondary concerns me because I've seen them get burned a bit this season. They don't quite cover as well, especially when you're talking like motor receivers, the ones who really get going. Drew Aller, he folds against these better defenses sometimes. I'm going to have to go Georgia, and I hate to do this. I really do. It's been in my head for months Georgia was going to get to the national championship regardless. I'm confident Georgia wins that game. Penn State could win, but James Franklin, he always fails when it matters most. Texas, Ohio State. Again, I don't know who wins this game. This is a literal coin flip. You can flip a coin. I'm afraid what's going to happen, what I'm afraid is going to happen is Will Howard and this offense fails when it matters most. Ryan Day is going to fail when it matters most. There's going to be an uproar of the century. Or what I think happens is Texas's offense just collapses. Someone's offense is going to collapse in this game. Man, I'm sorry. I've been saying it since the beginning. I'm thinking Ohio State's going to end up going all the way, dude. I'm sorry. I really am. And I didn't want to get to this point. But I'm sticking with it, man. I've been saying it since September. Ohio State's going to play Georgia in the national championship. Do you not see what's going on here? The bracket is shaped up for these two to meet, I think, personally. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist here, but why is it that this bracket is shaped up a specific way for? I've seen people put Texas versus Georgia. I've seen Oregon versus Notre Dame. I've seen Oregon versus... Texas versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame will be thankful to get to the semifinal because if they got to play Georgia, I don't like their chances either. Ohio State, Georgia... I think Ohio State's winning the national title. I'm sorry. This is the team, and again, I know I've been saying it the whole time, or at times, especially in the bigger games, like Ohio State's got it, they got it, and then they turn around and completely crap the bed. Again, I'm not an Ohio State fan, but sometimes you put your bias to the side. Is it gonna hurt me? Yeah, it might, honestly. But let's quickly do this. So, okay, what happens if we have, say, for instance, t- some favorites going down this weekend? Somebody whose favorite's going to lose. What could happen is, and what seems to typically happen, the favorite that everybody picks loses, like Texas, or I've seen on social media, I've seen a lot of people taking Tennessee. Penn State, I've seen a lot of people take Penn State. A lot of people are. I've seen some splits on Notre Dame, but I've seen people who take Notre Dame, they're taking them pretty far. But let's just say this. Let's say if Clemson beats Texas, I think Clemson's going to also possibly beat Arizona State, but then I think they get stopped in the semifinal, not unless they play Oregon. If Ohio State loses to Tennessee, if Tennessee beats Ohio State, I think they lose to Oregon. I don't think Tennessee's going to beat Oregon. Then again, though, maybe Nico could shine in that game. We'll see. That'd be actually a fascinating matchup. Oregon Tennessee. I would love to see it. If SMU beats Penn State, I think Boise State's going to get to the semifinal. If Notre Dame beats IU, I still think they lose to Georgia. I don't think Georgia's losing in the Sugar Bowl. I just don't think it's happening. Matter of fact, I think Georgia's going to make a run. Kirby Smart knows what he's got. He's got his hands full. So I think your most likely national champion, like most likely teams to win the national title, I'm going to have to say Ohio State. I'm sorry. Again, I hate to do it. People will say Oregon because they're the 1 seed. Maybe. I don't know. If Texas beats Ohio State, they probably win it all. Georgia, Notre Dame, maybe. Again, Notre Dame, I don't know. Either which way, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Please stay tuned. Matter of fact, actually, all future videos I have planned for the next week or two, they're going to be on hold because of what's going on right now within life. There's some things that are not necessarily great, so all future videos are on hold until further notice. I apologize for the inconvenience. But take care, everyone. Please stay safe. Have fun with the games this weekend. I'll see you all soon. Thank you.